Veronica of Baseload Capital. So happy to have you here, seated, ready for an interview.
Yes, so excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Well, we're here at the Cleantech for Europe Summit. How's it going, do you think?
I think it's been a fantastic day.
I think so too.
It's been so interesting to hear all the way from European Commission level down to members of parliament and the clean tech companies, the investors, many different perspectives.
Yeah,
and
they really gathered the whole, the combined, investors, scale-ups and politicians. They gathered them all.
Exactly. And I think the timing of the event is very interesting with having Davos the week before with Ursula von der Leyen's speech that everyone is referring to, having the US announcing the IRA,
Inflation Reduction Act.
Exactly.
It really seems to have kicked them off.
It kicked them off a lot, and then and a lot of people referring to it. So I think it's a dynamic time, and I noticed also the way there was quite a lot of seriousness in the executive vice president. I don't recall exactly her name. Of the European Commission's. Her opening speech was very, it felt very serious.
Really, I agree. They realize that there's a threat now from companies disappearing out of the EU if we don't step up and produce something attractive here for the clean tech companies.
Yes, and also not only if we don't produce, but also that we manage to keep the business in Europe during the scale-up phase. I thought I haven't reflected on that as much. What happened with the solar industry, what happened with the wind industry, that we did a research. We did the initial funding in Europe, and then the revenue and all the profit comes overseas instead.
They used the solar industry exactly. But we have Vestas in Denmark. Now I think it's a really positive race for decarbonization, and I think it's also their message that it's actually great that we're competing in a good way.
Yeah, exactly.
And I liked one message that came up, and it was, we only win this race to decarbonization if everybody finishes.
I like that one as well. To say that everyone has to pass the finish line.
Yeah, that's a good one. And you managed a roundtable on geothermal.
Yes.
And how we can make that happen. How do you think that went?
I think it was very exciting. The first one was looking at all the other tables that were filled with people and geothermal not attracting as many. But in one sense, it just proved the point that we have so much work to do in explaining what geothermal can bring to not only the industry, but to people, to societies. So it kind of proved the point, and that is exactly what also was stated later as a sum up, that we need to talk about geothermal. And
we need to market it better.
You need to market it much better.
So maybe you can explain what are the advantages of geothermal in the energy system?
Yes. So the advantage of geothermal is that it's a constant heat source. So basically, once you have drilled a well, you have access to energy 24/7, 365.
Which is what everybody wants these days.
Exactly what everyone wants. And
baseload energy.
Baseload energy that gives you stability in your grid. And also, you don't need backup battery solutions or anything like that, because you have a very high capacity factors of the power plants that are built. And also, someone said that one of the keywords today was ecosystems, that geothermal has so much to offer. As I made the example at the round table, in my house I have a well of 200 meters for a geothermal heat pump. In a community in Iceland, you have a local power plant powering the houses, now integrated with district heating. And in other bigger plants, you can do multiple steps of cascading use, so that you first produce power, then you send it away to district heating, then you can do fish farming, greenhouses, and all of these with the same energy, so you maximize the use.
And all with a revenue stream.
And all with a revenue stream.
Revenue
exactly.
Stream.
So I think that is, and there's still a lot of unknown about geothermal, and it comes from having been a very niche market, with typically the big players being around what is called the circle of fire, which is where the tectonic plates meet.
Right. So Iceland,
California, Indonesia, Turkey, Europe.
And those are on the top of the implementation.
Exactly. They are, and I mean, I'm also still, or you're constantly learning, I guess, but that we actually have 5 countries in the world with more than 1 gigawatt installed capacity, the US being above 3. Right. And a lot of people don't even know it because we don't talk about it.
No.
So I think and the beauty these days with geothermal is also that it's locally produced. Yeah. And everyone wants energy security. Everyone wants energy produced in their own backyard. Yeah. So the timing for geothermal is fantastic. Yeah, but we need to get it into the agenda.
Yeah. Well, we may have ignited something here today.
I hope so.
So tell me a little bit about Baseload Capital.
Yes. So Baseload Capital is a specialized investment firm.
Yeah.
So we invest... Very specialized. So we invest in geothermal projects and geothermal developers. Yeah. And we started off with investing in Iceland, where there was a local company called Veronica, which means heat power in Icelandic, that wanted to build a power plant in Flúðir. Right. And they had found a technology company in Sweden called Wänman. Yeah. And we sprung out of Wänman to help finance this first project.
Yeah. And they used waste heat at first, right? To produce electricity.
In the maritime, that was Taiwan. But Baseload went in financing geothermal. Yeah. And the first power plant then is in Flúðir, and it powers up around 200 households. Yeah. And the challenge in Iceland is that, and it has been a big success, I must say, because it has attracted so many visitors. We bring investors there. There are other communities in Iceland. There are politicians. We even had Her Royal Highness, the Crown Princess of Sweden, Victoria, visited. So it's been a lot of attention on that power plant. And what is the beauty with it is that you have locally produced green electricity. And if there's one thing that Europe needs right now, is locally produced green electricity.
Yeah, it's a good showcase.
It's a very good showcase. The challenge, though, on Iceland is quite low power prices, around 40. So after Iceland, we started looking, where do you go next?
You started with the lowest price.
We started with the lowest price.
If you can make it in Iceland, you can make it anywhere.
Exactly. And it's like, you made it. One of the learnings from Iceland is you can have multiple revenue streams in geothermal. Yeah. You can sell power, but you can also sell hot water.
Yeah, we realized that.
Exactly. Yeah. And the importance of having multiple streams and have off-takers. Yeah. So the next step was actually going into the Japanese market because they have the world's highest feed-in tariffs. Yeah. So Iceland, 40 euros per megawatt hour. Japan, 300 euros per megawatt hour. It's huge.
Different world.
Yes. And then we also decided to be, the first going into Taiwan, because Taiwan has announced an ambition of building more than 200 megawatt from zero. Cool. So they're just gonna grow, and they have already said that they will, for 20 years, the state-owned utility will buy all that you can produce.
Okay, at a certain fixed price then.
Yeah, of 200 euros.
Okay.
So still higher. And then we went also into the US market, which is the world's largest geothermal market. And there you have now 130 about euros per megawatt hour. Yeah. And in Europe, back a few years ago, the electricity prices in mainland Europe were kind of too low to look at. Yeah. But that has changed.
Everything has changed.
Everything
really
has
rapidly,
changed.
Yeah.
So now we're looking into Europe as well.
You are right. Yeah. Let's talk about the process there. So you actually start then looking for where can you drill and what are the chances that you actually typically find something? How accurate are the estimates there?
Oh, that's a very good question. So basically, it depends on the what do you know from before? Yeah. Are there already someone else that has drilled a well? Yeah, okay. And are there public data available from that drilling?
Yeah. So the security of it varies quite a bit.
Yes. So like in Taiwan, because they don't have anything, they don't have any data. Right. In Iceland, you have public data on multiple wells. Yeah. So the knowledge level can really vary. And then you can say that if you have former oil and gas wells, or you did exploration work for oil and gas, but you didn't hit the reservoir. No. You have a dry well that gives us information about the temperature gradient at that location. So we can actually access
then
that
you can
type
know
of...
a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's an interesting comparison, of course, to oil and gas and the whole industry and how you operate. So give us the comparison. How much is drilled in your industry compared to oil?
Yes, that's a very good. And I don't know the exact number, but typically oil wells about 70,000-80,000 a year.
Right.
Geothermal wells deeper, 200 to 300.
Right.
So it's huge difference.
Huge difference in the amount of new. Well, let's see if we can flip it around.
Yeah, we want to flip it around. Yeah, we want to flip it around.
Yeah. And you are one of the companies that have actually attracted Breakthrough Energy.
Yes.
Who is also supporting the Clean Tech for Nordics coalition. Yeah. So you have them as owners as well.
And they are also, of course, very skilled and very focused on making a change.
Making a dent.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's what they're all about.
Yeah, and basically the always is go faster, go faster.
Yeah.
You know, they're like go.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah. Well, we're extremely happy to have you in the Clean Tech for Nordics coalition.
Oh,
and
thank you.
It's great that you bring in this whole geothermal perspective and your expertise from the different countries. So, yeah, I think you're a great addition to it. But I thought you knew that already.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being on. That's all I had.
Oh, that's all I had. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.